here, boy. It's late summer, early fall time. They're not always eating shad. Now, you want to be around the shad, but sometimes bluegill and crayfish, if it's in their area, they will eat it. Welcome back to the channel. Thank y'all for hanging with me on this Monday. So shad are key. Wherever it is you are fishing, you want to be seeing bait fish. In clear water lakes, you'll see big schools of shad. The dirtier lakes, you'll see them on top, but the bait fish are very important when we get into the end of the summer, fall period, where that's what the fish are keying in on, and that's what's going to be driving the fish into certain parts of the lake. But I will say this, the jig bite's very strong, which doesn't imitate a shad. So why is that? And that is because, yeah, they're on the migration path with the shad, but they're an opportunistic feeder. Crawfish start mating this time of year, and bluegill are still going to be shallow. So for that reason, you don't always have to catch bass on the shad type baits this time of year. You just want to be around the shad. So I've had some of my best jig bites I've ever had in the month of September. And I think what you get is fish that are eating a lot, and then they go a day or two and they don't have to eat. So on a sunny day with no wind, no clouds, they're going to hunker down on the bottom, and they're probably not going to chase anything. You know, if a shad swims by them and they don't have to go very far, they'll eat it. But on those days when it comes to catching them on artificial baits, you just got to drop it in front of them, and that's where a Texas rig or a jig really plays this time of year. You know, there's bass everywhere, and they're in a chasing, feeding mode on those cloudy days. So they're moving around a lot, and if you have clear water in your lake, they're going to be way more pelagic, and they're going to follow basically that clear water. Well, they're following the bait, and they have a much larger range of where they're going to swim in the clear water. So when you're using artificial baits, you want to find a little bit of off-colored water, and that's going to be different depending on the lake. You know, that's really a term relative to the lake. You're either going to have, you know, 3 or 4 feet of visibility, and you want to look for fish that are going to be in that 2 foot of visibility, and that's going to be the key. Or maybe you're in a lake where it's 1.5 feet is super clear. You want to look for just a good watercolor in those lakes where you can find the fish. So big misconception. You think the fish are going to be on shad, therefore they're chasing. So your soft plastic jerk baits and your spinner baits are going to work on those sunny, calm days, and it's just not going to happen. So the big key, you want to have bait wherever it is you're fishing, and you want to be able to notice it and see it on your electronics. If you have clear water, you'll see it come swimming through. But you have to also realize that a lot of the bait is on the main river still. So that's bait that's not really going to help you at all. It's up in the water column where all the oxygen is at, and you're not really going to target bass around that bait. So we're still a month away from the bait pushing back into the creeks. The creek fish will start showing up, and then you can target those fish that are on those big bait balls. But for the most part now, you just want to be seeing some bait and then catch them on your bluegill imitators and your crawfish imitators. Jig is one of my favorite baits this time of year. Good luck to you. Try that, and I'll see you on the water.